Okay. So like we were expecting Manoj Bisht, Lieutenant Commander Manoj Bisht.
Ma'am, I'm Lieutenant Commander Manoj West only.
So welcome on board. Like I'm
Thank
there,
you.
Ratan Shah is there with us right now.
Right. Ma'am, I'll just share the presentation and video, and we'll just test whether you can see these presentation or not.
Yeah, we'll just do a trial and error first.
Yes, ma'am.
We are doing an error.
Ma'am, can you see the presentation?
नहीं करना है मैं बताऊंगी yes it's absolutely fine.
Ma'am, I'm changing the slides. Can you see?
Yes, roles of the Navy, branch structure. Yeah, absolutely. Executive Marine Engineering, executive branch, technical branch, absolutely.
Okay, right, ma'am. I'll play the video, ma'am. Just see whether you can see.
Yes, it is visible and it is audible too.
Right. I'm ready from my end, ma'am.
So shall we start like it's a brief introduction from my side first, and then we'll continue with the same.
Right, ma'am.
So once you give me a thumbs up, we'll start the sessions.
Right, ma'am. Right, ma'am.
I can hear the kids' voice.
Yes, ma'am. I'm ready, ma'am.
Right. So good morning, everybody. Today we are here from the school management team from As Modi Schools. We provide each and every information with all the special days to everybody. Today we are here to celebrate the Indian Navy Day. So thank you to the Indian Naval staff, to everybody present here, that we are connected to Indian Navy, as the Indian Navy is the naval branch of the Indian Armed Forces. Founded 408 years ago in 1612. The beginning of India's maritime history dates back to 3000 BC, Vedic age of the Nandas and Mauryas, Gupta dynasty, and so on. We have a lot in the beginning of our dynasties, the British arrivals, and so on. All are enriched by naval history and achievements. Indian Navy is a well-balanced and cohesive three-dimensional force capable of operating above, on, and under the surface of the oceans, efficiently safeguarding our national interests. The Indian Navy has three commands: Western, Eastern, and Southern Naval Command. And it is very glad to share with you that at present, at this point of time, we have 67,252 active personnel, 55,000 reserve personnel, 150 approximately ships, and 300 aircraft approximately. I think we are going with the approximately right versions. A far cry from duty ashore for one thing, while at sea, you will be putting all your skills and determinations to actual test. You will be given responsibility and will be doing an important job for which you have been uniquely trained. So today, Navy Day is being celebrated to recognize the achievements and role of the Indian Navy. 4th December was chosen as on that Trident, the Indian Navy sank 4 Pakistani vessels, including PNS Ghazi, as we have seen in the movie Ghazi Attack. So now I would just like to welcome Lieutenant Commander Manoj Bisht, commissioned into Indian Navy on July 2010, completed BTech in Electronics and Communication and MTech in Communication System Engineering from NIT Trichy. We welcome you, sir. The speaker has served as instructor appointments in Naval Engineering College, Lonavala, Naval War College, Goa, Indian Naval Academy, and presently posted as instructor at INS Valpura, Jamnagar. We now welcome him with his whole family on board right now to share important glimpse and the career options available for our young generation. Lieutenant Commander Manoj Bisht.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for the introduction. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and my young friends. On the occasion of Navy Day, every year we reach out to the next generation uh, uh, to inform them, to make them aware what all things we in Indian Navy have to offer as a career. So basically, it's a awareness campaign among all the young generation, the class from 9 to 12th, where they decide the streams, the branches, the career options. So here we are today to explain what all things, these various streams, branches you will find in Indian Navy where you can make your career. When your choices of career and your likings align, then you always progress and do a great job. This is what the main idea behind this presentation. Now I'll be presenting one short presentation which is in two parts. I'll be having one presentation session with PPT followed by one video which will be giving you the glimpses of the various activities within Indian Navy. So I'll start with the presentation first. So as ma'am just mentioned, our three commands. Basically, we have two operational command: the Western and the Eastern, and the our third command, which is a Southern command. It's a training command. With war fighting as primary role of Indian Navy, We have other responsibilities like strengthen our diplomatic ties with friendly foreign nations, helping government to maintain law and order, and to provide a helping hand to the civilian authorities and bodies in case of crisis. Branch structures, we are having total 5 branches in Indian Navy, starting with executive branch. It is again further divided depending on the specialization, and executive branch is the main branch of Indian Navy, which is supported by two technical arms, which are marine engineering and electrical engineering, and the education branch, which gives the support with respect to all the training and instructional part, and helped by the supported by the medical team of Indian Navy. Executive branch is divided based on the specializations. Gunnery and missile warfare is one, navigation and direction, anti submarine warfare, and communication and electronics warfare. These are the main 4 branches of executive branch. With that, we have aviation branch, submarine, the fighting arm of Indian Navy, which are known as Marine Commandos, the hydrographic branch, and with that, we are having supporting a branch, supporting sub branches of executive, which are law, logistics, air traffic control, armament inspection, and information technology. Moving to the technical branch, we are having 4 branches, starting with engineers. These are the mechanical engineers which support uh, the ships, all the engines, and all the technical equipment, control system on board ships. Electrical engineers, they support with respect to all the IT specialized work and all the electrical related issues on board ships. Aeronautical engineers, they are specific to aviation wing, and the naval architectures, they support in shipbuilding, shipyards, dockyards. Moving to the naval education wing of Indian Navy, we are having general education, which looks after the training technology used for training purposes in various training establishment of Indian Navy. The revision of curriculum, revision of courses, inclusion of new technologies in training with respect to whether it is system specific or generic in nature, and it is again divided into its sub branch, which is a meteorology and oceanology specialization, which becomes an integral and important part of aviation wing. Few of our warships which you have heard about are INS Vikramaditya. This is the aircraft carrier we are having presently. Before this, we INS Virat serve Indian Navy. We are having frontline destroyers, frigates, corvettes, and patrol vessels. In aviation wing, we are having MiG-29, Sea Harrier, Boeing, the helicopters. In submarine arms, we are having nuclear submarine Chakra, Arihant. Now, moving to the question how to make a career in Indian Navy. See, before moving how you will apply, I'll just mention how is the life in Indian Navy. Life in Indian Navy is mixed of sea and shore appointments. In Indian Navy, we follow the pyramidal structure where every new job, new appointment is a challenge. There is no monotony, new experiences are there, and our training system, our training commands prepare our men and officers to take the new challenges. We have a very close community where we teach our men and officers the naval value system. How's the life on board ship? It's a very challenging life. Ships are like a small station, mini cities, which represent every walk of life. You get opportunity to visit the various foreign ports, countries, and at the end, you will have a professional satisfaction that whatever education you have taken, you are able to apply those onboard ships, various systems, and whatever work or task assigned to you. These are few pictures of various actions on board ships. Now coming to the question, how to apply. So in for every twice in a year we get an application for appearing for the entrance examination, which is followed by service selection board, medicals, and then finally up to the merit list. Depending on the academic criteria, we are having joining after plus 12th and after completion of graduation as well in different streams and branches. After completing plus 12th, candidates will be joining Indian Naval Academy and National Defense Academy as cadets, and they'll be going through 4 year military training, and at the end and completion of 4 years of military training they'll be getting BTech degree. Depending on their performance in first year, they'll be allotted the technical branches, uh, which are mechanical and electrical branches, and applied electronics and communication if they get selected for the executive branch. In the graduation entry, they'll be we have a lot of openings for graduates, like the graduates from humanities, physics, MSc, masters in physics, chemistry, masters in history, masters in English, political science. They can apply and can join the education branch. Apart from this, the BTech graduates can also join. BTech and MTech graduates can also join the education branch. Similarly, the other branches like executive branch, technical branch also have openings after completion of graduation. Law, medical, and sports also have openings after completion of their graduation twice in a year. So depending on the entries and the specialization you have, you can apply for it. Now, how to get the information with respect to various entries? Employment newspapers and the national newspapers will always have the advertisement. Apart from that, Nausena Bharti and Join Indian Navy. These two websites you will find the informations for different entries in Indian Navy. There are two types of commissions which Indian Navy gives. The first one is permanent commission and short service commission. Permanent commission is for 20 years. So officers have to serve minimum 20 years, and after completion of 20 years, depending on their rank and promotions, they can continue serving. So different ranks have different retirement age. They'll be having the benefits of pension and retirement benefits. On the other hand, short service commission, they join the services for 10 years, which are extended to 14 years, but having the limited retirement benefits. So in SSB, after completion of your written examination, you will be called for service selection boards for the interviewing procedure. So all the candidates will be adjudged on these skills, whether they are having the leadership skills or not, whether they can apply the intelligence, having the organizing abilities, how is the power of expression, whether they can adjust in different conditions, test of determination, courage, and physical stamina. Coming to the entries for women, these are the primary branches where women have entries into Indian Navy: naval architecture, law, logistics, education, air traffic control, observer, and now they can become the pilot also in Indian Navy. And these three branches offers permanent commission for women depending on the merit and the vacancies available: naval architecture, law, and education. After successfully completion of SSB and medicals, candidates join Indian Naval Academy as cadets. This is the largest academy in Asia, where candidates, those who will be joining after 12, will be getting BTech degree, and candidates who will be joining post completion of their graduation and post graduation, depending on the various entries, they'll be completing their naval orientation course. In Indian Navy, not only the service personnel, their family also get medical benefits. We have the best of the schools for the wards of naval personnels, where we have the best of the learning facilities. In Indian Navy, we provide best of the environments, lush green parks and environmental stations. We have best of the recreational sports, where officers, they can learn new games, they can try new adventures, and can enjoy the life. So Navy protects you forever. It is not a job, it's a way of life where you gets the respect and honor, and Navy trains you to become the winner in life. So before making your choices for the career, you must keep all these points in your mind. Thank you very much. Now I'll be moving to the second part of the presentation, which is a short video.
The sea. Vast, inscrutable, requires an eagle eye, a constant gaze, on all that pass. For India, from time immemorial, the sea has afforded opportunities and challenges that altered history. Change has always come from the sea, generation after generation. The sea is where it starts. A benevolent eye, a piercing gaze. The Indian Navy is tasked with both: defending India's sovereignty, uncovering threats, aiding partners, securing the world's busiest trade routes. Every duty performed in the service of the nation. We are the Indian Navy. Combat ready, credible, and cohesive. Exactly 49 years ago, we had an opportunity to serve our nation as a force at sea. In 1971, millions were forced to flee from East Pakistan. With no political resolution in sight, conflict became inevitable. The Navy was tasked with delivering the hammer blow from the sea, with strikes aimed at decisive outcomes: destruction of all Pakistani assets at sea and on land, control of the sea in defense of the homeland, total blockade of movements from ports in both East and West Pakistan.
The 1971 war was a watershed moment in the history of the Indian Navy. Admiral S.M. Nanda, the then Chief of the Naval Staff, was very clear that the Indian Navy must adopt an aggressive posture. The Indian Navy's contributions were instrumental in India gaining decisive victory in the war and towards the creation of a new friendly neighbor.
The night of 4th December 1971, it began with a daring, unprecedented strike by missile boats on Karachi, inflicting extensive damage to Karachi Harbour and shipping. Since then, we celebrate the momentous day of 4th December as Indian Navy Day. A second missile attack on Karachi Harbour achieved further destruction of the enemy and maritime dominance for the Navy. On the Eastern Front, in the Bay of Bengal, aircraft carrier Vikrant was a force multiplier for the Eastern Fleet. From airstrikes to the blockade, Vikrant's impact was forceful through the length of the conflict, as strikes by Sea Hawks prevented East Pakistani forces from using the seas. The enemy dispatched PNS Ghazi to nullify the advantage Vikrant afforded. However, the preemptive actions of INS Rajput gave Ghazi a watery burial near Vishakhapatnam. While action progressed at sea, the Navy also mounted special operations at Chalna Khulna harbors. INS Panvel and the two gunboats Padma and Palash, manned by the Mukti Bahini, entered and inflicted heavy damage on these harbors in the face of stiff resistance. Towards the end of the war, the likelihood of the enemy attempting escape into Burma, now Myanmar, became a distinct possibility. To prevent this, the Indian Navy executed an amphibious landing for the first time in the history of India. As we celebrate our victories, we also pay homage to the brave martyrs of INS Kukri, who made the supreme sacrifice in discharging their duty in the late hours of 9th December. We owe a debt of gratitude to martyrs and veterans of the 1971 war. So this year, we begin the Golden Jubilee celebrations of our victory and the Navy's decisive role in the conquest of a foe and the creation of a friendly neighbor. Even today, service to the nation and readiness in the face of newly emergent challenges, traditional and non-traditional, defines the Navy. As tensions simmered along the northern borders, the Navy also increased its operational readiness and preemptive deployment.
This is one of the sorties where we are operating near the LAC. The PETA has been the forefront of operations as far as building up our entry is concerned. We have our footprint all the way from Malacca, Sunda to Lombok in the east, all the way till Seychelles, Gulf of Aden and the Persian Gulf at the west.
We are getting many tri-service operations coordinating with Indian Air Force and Indian Army.
When COVID-19 appeared as a threat to all humanity, the world started looking inwards, but the Indian Navy stepped out, putting its shoulder firmly to the wheel in support of national efforts.
We created 24/7 telemedicine facilities, mobile dispensaries, mobile blood collection centers, state-of-the-art labs for testing facilities, and also COVID management centers across all naval hospitals, across all commands. We were able to save a lot of lives, prevent a lot of infections, and also keep our sea warriors combat ready without affecting operational readiness.
Operation Samudra Setu and Mission Sagar represent important examples of how the Navy supported India's efforts, proving the adage, the seas connect, they don't divide.
Though very noble, the task had its own challenges. We had to adopt extreme measures to keep everybody safe, comfortable, and most importantly, to prevent any case of COVID on board.
Launched on 5th May 2020, Operation Samudra Setu or Sea Bridge was part of Mission Vande Bharat, the wider national effort to repatriate Indian citizens. Over 55 days, covering 23,000 kilometers, it was the largest such repatriation by the Indian Navy till date. The Navy remained committed to partners in the Indian Ocean region with neighborhood first as the key mantra. The Prime Minister's vision of Sagar, security and growth for all in the region, was consolidated during COVID. naval aircraft flew multiple sorties, ferrying equipment, medical personnel, and medicine across the country.
There were many of the doctors, and many of the nurses, and many of the paramedical personnel who were themselves, as a part of this war, afflicted by COVID-19. They had to be hospitalized, they fought the illness, recovered, and come back to join the battle again. We are indeed proud of our healthcare workers.
The Navy tackled the unprecedented and extraordinary challenge. Special protocols were swiftly deployed to prevent COVID-19 spread on Navy ships, ensuring that caregivers would not be care seekers.
Sick bay complex has 2 isolation wards, that is 1 and 2. Therefore, 8 patients can be isolated in these wards. The circulation, the speciality about these wards is that the circulation is enclosed. The air is directly sucked from the atmosphere and then it is exhaust is directly to the outside, so that the circulation inside does not get mixed with the ventilation which is for the remaining of the ship.
All naval personnel walked the extra mile during these difficult times, coming together with a sense of commitment and courage, converting adversity into opportunity through innovation and ingenuity. Despite the pandemic, our combat-ready ships were fully deployed, protecting India's interests, allowing the Navy to forge and maintain partnerships with global maritime powers. Our operational readiness keeps the oceans peaceful and supports a free and open maritime space for regional prosperity. The 24th edition of Malabar Naval Exercise off the Indian shores, a showcase of synergy and coordination between friendly navies. It is based on shared values and commitment to an open, inclusive Indo-Pacific and a rules-based international order.
The 2 extremely powerful aircraft carrier groups operating in tandem. This edition of the exercise saw interaction of various kinds, ranging from complex air-to-air maneuvers between the jets that operated from the deck of Vikramaditya and those that operated from USS Nimitz.
We find ethnic range in which we interact with the foreign navies, with the air arm, and we revise our procedures, revisit our SOPs, and finally we can very proudly say that we are completely interoperable.
We also been involved in advanced coordinated anti-submarine exercises, underway replenishment, anti-air firing, lot of surface firing exercises. Since we have been exercising these navies for some time, there is a good sense of comfort level and high degree of interoperability. As we spend more time at sea doing advanced level of exercises, a level operating together for a common goal will only get better in the years to come.
Indian and Japanese naval forces conducted exercises near the Malacca Straits. Indian Navy exercised and operated with navies of Bangladesh, Indonesia, Myanmar, Oman, Russia, Singapore, Sri Lanka, and Thailand. When merchant ship New Diamond, carrying 270,000 tons of oil, caught fire off the eastern coast of Sri Lanka, Indian Navy responded to help douse the flames. The Indian Navy has emerged as the preferred security partner for the region. Indigenous shipbuilding activities continued despite COVID, making India self-reliant, while ploughing investment back into the Indian economy. INLCU L-57 was commissioned into the Indian Navy at Port Blair, an amphibious vessel tasked with transporting and deploying troops and equipment from ship to shore. INS Kavaratti, the last of the 4 indigenously built anti-submarine warfare stealth corvettes, was commissioned as a combat-ready platform. Vagir launched. Indigenously made, it is the 5th among the 6 Kalvari-class submarines. India's first indigenous aircraft carrier went through basin trials and will soon be ready for sea trials.
Design and construction of aircraft carriers, because of their scale, complexities, and legacy experience, is immensely challenging. The maiden attempt of Indian Navy to indigenously design and build an aircraft carrier therefore assumes special significance. With more than 78% of the equipment and material being sourced from indigenous suppliers, ISE is a true reflection of Prime Minister's vision of Atmanirbhar Bharat.
ISE has completed trials of equipment and systems in harbour and is now being ready for sea trials. Ships delivery being targeted by end 2021 will take India into elite group of nations having niche capabilities of design and construction of an aircraft carrier.
Naval Innovation and Indigenization Organization is a step towards the goal of Atmanirbhar Bharat, New India, a trusted regional power, an aspiring economic powerhouse, can no longer neglect the sea. The Indian Navy builds trust and bridges with our maritime neighbors in the Indian Ocean region, while maintaining a keen gaze on matters affecting India's national security. Going forward, India must be a friend with friends and a merciless foe to our enemies. We must never forget that for India, the sea is where it starts. Therefore, the Indian Navy will forever be combat ready, credible, and cohesive.
With this, I come to the end of the presentation. In case of any query and the question, I'm open for that.
Thank you so much. It was pleasure that we came to know about Indian Navy and its opportunities from your side. And you just talked about INS Vikrant. Like एक छोटा सा incident I would like to share कि my brother, he gave me a call and he said कि Didi, I want to buy Vikrant bike that came into being.
Virat, INS Virat.
Yeah, INS Virat, right. So Indian Navy का एक छोटा सा like एक part है उसमें बस, लेकिन फिर भी the people feel proud when they buy that bike. So stating this to all the kids present here कि बेटा जब एक छोटी सी बाइक को लेके हम इतना प्राउड फील करते हैं, you just think if you join Indian Navy, how much your parents, how much we, and how much yourself you're going to be proud of yourself. तो हर चीज जरूरी नहीं होती है कि दूसरों को फील करवाने के लिए हम करें, कुछ चीजें हमें अपने लिए भी करनी पड़ती है. The way Indian Navy is doing, Indian Navy says it's silent, it's strong, and it's swift. The Navy motto is Sanu Varuna, may the Lord of Water be auspicious unto us, Jal ke Devta, Varun hamare liye mangalkari ho. And talking about the colors of Indian Navy, it is like navy blue and white. Somewhere in the motto and somewhere with the colors, Modi school comes with you and share the same thought process. So, on behalf of Modi school management, staff and students, I extend a really hearty vote of thanks to our guide for today, Lieutenant Commander Manoj Bisht. And yes, I would like to share one more thing that is really necessary for today that I should share with you all. The recent news, when we were having that horrible fight with Chinese and all. So the news said, Indian Navy played an important role in deterring Chinese naval forces, and the message has gone across to them in a very clear voice. Let it be sea, land, or the sky. We are against them and we are going to stand for our country. So thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir. And your shared information has enlightened our mind and has shown a new path, especially to a young generation. Last but not the least, a big thank you to each one of you who have made this day special. And me, being from these forces itself, my husband, my father, my brothers, we all are from defense. We heartily thank you for this day that you have come across to Modi schools and given your valuable time. And thank you for serving our country and protecting our freedoms. Today and every day, I am grateful for your sacrifice and services. And so do Modi School and the management is. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. I sincerely appreciate your time and attention today morning. Thank you, everybody. I would like to give a special thanks to Principal and Priyanka ma'am, and for all the support and for providing this opportunity to reach out to the young generation. Thank you.
Thank you so much.